Well, breaking news, January 2026 Ottawa market stats are here and available. So let's go through it. So if we look at what's happened in the month of January versus December in terms of number of sales, 610 sales the month of January, that's 3.9% more than December. Now, both December and January in a typical year represent about a half of a standard month, 4 or 5%. And so there's nothing super noteworthy there. Inventory is coming up a little bit in January to 2,673 homes for sale. That's up about 5% over December. And that makes sense, right? People are moving into the new year thinking about making a change, putting their houses on the market. Current months of standing inventory, 4.4. So we're in a balanced, almost moving towards buyer's market. Not quite in a buyer's market, but anyways, we're moving in that direction. Average sale price 641, down 2.7% from a month ago, and down from the low sevens earlier in the year. So that continues to be a story that evolves on that side. One might argue that what is sold in January, December is not the same as what's sold in April and May. I don't actually have things teased out quite that far, but it's a thought. If we look at January of 2026 over January 2025, sales volume's down from 610 to 646. Number of that means about a 5.6% reduction in sales volume, and inventory is up almost 23%. So guess what? We have more months of standing inventory. That typically would put downwards pressure on price. It's great for buyers who feel like they have more choice. They can give some thought to things. But anyways, here we are. Last year we had 3.4 months of standing inventory in January. We currently have 4.4 months of standing inventory. Now, one would expect, as the supply and demand curve moves towards higher supply, prices would soften, and we see that pretty well across the board. If we look at kind of teasing out by category, single family homes down 3.6% average price with 4.3 months of inventory. Townhomes down 3.3% in average sale price over a year ago with 3.3 months of inventory. So that's the bright spot in a way. The townhomes are still in a bit of a, seller territory moving towards buyer, but interesting to hear about the prices. Obviously a function of affordability, a function of interest rates currently, etc. And the apartments are down 12.1% in average sale price. And we know that's not super surprising given the level of inventory we've been talking about. Currently 6.8 months of standing inventory in the apartments or condominium market. So there it is. There's not a whole lot of great news in January of 2026, but interestingly enough, anecdotally, there was a number of multiple offers that we were involved in January. It was quite interesting, and I think that kind of puts a punctuation point on something I often say, and that is that the headlines are not the bottom line. We often paint the market with these wide brushstrokes, and the problem with a wide brushstroke is it leaves a lot of holes, and in those holes are all of these little micro markets where real estate is just ultimately hyper localized, both by neighborhood and also by product type. And so the headlines can be misleading and they might not speak to your particular scenario. I had someone say to me the other day, prices up, prices down, I'm buying another house. It makes no difference because I'm buying and selling in the same market. Very wise. But anyways, I would say this, it's worth a little consult if you've got real estate plans and you're uncertain about where you stand in the market. Because again, the wide brushstrokes are just that. They're interesting, they're newsworthy, but there's hyper localized information that I can share that might tell a different story. So, anyways, let's see what February brings. And I'm here if you have any questions or want to get kind of a more myopic look at your home. All the best.